Welcome to Futuristic Tech Trends. Please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for notifications.
So I think now we are ready to implement our first IoT Internet of Things project. So what this should be. I mean, I've thought a lot about it, and I thought of different things that we can have. Maybe some small tiny Android device, and then we have maybe a certain gateway in between, and then a server. But then I thought that let's keep it simple so that it is easily understandable, and you got the concept, the concept of what an IoT ecosystem actually is, and it and how it works. You get this concept completely, and then you can apply it to any kind of devices, maybe Raspberry Pi based devices, or gateways, or Arduino based, and then cloud based IoT ecosystems. So what we use for, first of all, what we need in an IoT system, we need in any IoT system, we need we need these sensor devices or sensor nodes. We need these sensor nodes, and then we need a gateway. As we said, we have already discussed these things. There's communication between the two, and then we have a cloud or server, server. So in our case, we are going to use this our personal computer as the server. Server is going to be our PC, and our gateway is going to be our Android phone, because normally there is Wi-Fi, or as we said, Wi-Fi or GSM or UMTS, communication between these two, or and so we can use, for example, here we have all these capabilities in our Android phone, so we can use here our Android phone as our gateway. Okay, this is our gateway, and we can use the sensor nodes as those sensor devices that are present within an Android phone. All of Android phone has tiny sensors in phone, in mobile phone, in smartphone. Okay, smartphone. So we can use, so instead of this model, we use the model in which the sensor devices are inside the gateways. Our sensors are here. So we have already discussed this model as well, in which the gateway and the sensor devices are located in the sensor device is already located inside the gateway. So we are going to read the value from the sensor devices, send this value to the from the Android app, storing it somewhere, and then we send it through we can use Wi-Fi or GSM or UMTS, whatever, but we are in simple, we are going to send it to the server, or this is going to be our cloud. We don't need to have a web application here instead of the in the server. We can have a web application and use this HTTP send and get post and all those things to receive the data or send the data back, send the acknowledgement back. But we will just use maybe some small Android or a Java application which is going to receive the values and and send an acknowledgement back, or just display the values, just this. So this is going to be our project. We can again describe it here. It says that the PC will act as a server, the personal computer. Android phone will act as a gateway plus also the sensor device. So data will be read from the sensors inside the Android phone, which is going to be contain our sensor device, and then this data is going to be sent to the sent from the phone, the gateway, which is also the gateway, to the server, which is our PC. So again, I mean, PC, the personal computer is going to be our server or our cloud. The Android phone will act as a gateway plus the sensor devices, as we described here. It's going to be, the phone is going to be the gateway plus the sensor devices that are located here, all those sensor devices like temperature, pressure, accelerometer, proximity, rotation vector, orientation, all those light sensors that are located on our Android phone, plus the Android phone, which is going to contain this app, which is going to read this value from the sensor. All this is going to act as a gateway plus the sensor device. So after getting the right values, processing the values, if we want, we are going to send these values to the server. So as it's described here, data will be read from the sensors inside the Android phone. So these sensors are also the sensor devices inside the Android phone. Data will be read from them, and it's going to be sent from the gateway, which is again the same Android phone which has the sensors. So it is going to be sent from the Android phone to the server PC, which is our cloud as well. We can call it cloud, we can call it server, it does not actually matter. So this is going to be our first Android IoT project that we are going to implement, and I hope you will understand this. Again, I can describe once more. For example, we have described two kind of topologies, right? One of the topology is this one, in which the sensor nodes are separate. In between is a gateway, and then we have this. This is our cloud. So data is then the values are read from the sensor nodes. They are sent to the gateway. On the gateway, which can be anything, our phone, it can be a Raspberry Pi or Arduino based gateway. This is going to process those values or filter them and send them to the cloud. And in the second topology, we have these sensor values, these sensors, these sensors, we are going to have them. Let me use this red marker. We are going to have them inside the gateway. So this was our second topology of an IoT ecosystem that we have described before. So gateway and the sensors are located on the same device, and then the value is read from the sensors, or the same device is going to read the value and also send the value to the cloud, and receive acknowledgement or whatever, and this is the second topology. So we are using, in our case, because all of you or most of you have Android iPhones. If not, you can get it from some friend or something, and I hope all of you 100% have a a computer as well. So you can make a server for on your computer, and you can run a client app or develop a client app on your Android phone, which is going to read the sensor devices values from more than one sensors or only one sensor device, any temperature, pressure, accelerometer, gravity, orientation, proximity, whatever, and read those values. This app is going to read those values and also send those values to the server. So that's why. So I think choosing such an IoT project as our first project is very good, because we have the equipment, we have the phone, we have the server, and we can simply write for example, a Java code on the server side. Maybe it can be an Eclipse, it can be also in Android, but we can write in Eclipse if you think, it's better. And then we can write an app in the Android Studio, and then store it in our phone, and then do the communication between our phone and computer. For the first, we can also only simulate it. We can do it using Android Studio and Eclipse.
That was awesome, thank you.
Please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for notifications.